Hangzhou. It is not a natural forming river, body of water, I should say. That was created through a series of dams and other projects a long time ago. And certainly a massive tourist attraction, and as I'm sure are the HSBC BWF World Tour finals right here in the Hangzhou Olympic Sports Center Gymnasium. First match is done and dusted, and we're going to have more Korean representation in the second match. Young, the world #1, will be taking on the Indonesian Gregoria Mariska Tunjung. This is how things look in the table at the moment. Tunjung is leading after a big win over Tunjung. Kim Ga-eun not far behind her after beating Young. What a tremendous result that one was. Well, that can change, of course, if An can get back to winning ways, which is what most people thought she would be running away with this. But I think we have to be clear that Young has had an injury layoff and has not quite been the same since. Tunjung still could spring a surprise or two. So that match is up next. Young of Korea versus Indonesia's Gregoria Mariska Tunjung. There is Young, who has perhaps a little less on her knee today. She had certainly had a lot on it yesterday, and that was in the Asian Games final where she managed to take the gold medal. There's Chen Yufei. There's also got plenty of strapping there for Tunjung. She missed the whole European leg and then came back into the semi-final, got to the semi-finals of the Kumamoto Masters Japan, and then eliminated at the China Masters in the second round. Wang Ziyi beat her. That's the earliest she's been eliminated any competition this year. In fact, dating back to July of last year. And her losing to Kim Ga-eun yesterday is the earliest that she has lost in any match in any tournament this year. Head-to-head is very much in favor of Young. She's never lost in 5 meetings to Tunjung. Here is Young, the world #1, who was just voted the Women's Player of the Year. And why not? What a year she's had. Absolutely incredible. 21 years of age, 170 centimeters tall, from the south of Korea, the world #1. She's just been brilliant, hasn't she? And unfortunately, that injury has been an issue for her. Back to Young just a bit. Here's Gregoria Mariska Tunjung, who is 24 years of age and currently playing at her best ever, ranking of 7th in the world. She is a former world junior champion in 2017 in her home of Indonesia. And she has won 2 titles. It was the Japan Masters, as I said, just a short while ago in Kumamoto, where she stunningly beat Chen Yufei. And she also won the Spain Masters, where she defeated PV Sindhu. in that Super 300 tournament. But we talk about Tunjung and what she has achieved. Of course, the current world champion was third last year. Asian Games champion as well, beating Chen Yufei, as I mentioned earlier. Also won the gold in the women's team. That's a very impressive result there. In China as well. Asian Championships this year she was runner-up. Last year she was third. And you look at her achievements on the World Tour. She's got a whopping 19 titles. And this year, she has been absolutely brilliant. She has won. Now, hold on here. Let me give you the list. The India Open, the Indonesia Masters, the All England, the Thailand Open, Singapore Open, Korea Open, Japan Open, and the China Open. It's title after title, runner-up at the German Open. Ladies and gentlemen, and the Malaysia Open. Korea. Lee Chun-hui, umpire from China. Sven said it from Belgium. On my left, Gregoria Mariska Tunjung, Indonesia. Service judge. Gregoria Mariska Tunjung to serve level. There was one point where she managed to get to the finals, or at least of every tournament she was playing in. Service over. And after yesterday's defeat at the hands of Kim Ga-eun, where she lost in straight games, 18-21, 18-21, there'll be a feeling of some unfinished business. Tunjung, on her part, lost yesterday. The Tai Tzu-Ying, 18-21, 17-21. Right. I suppose if there was any a time to play Tunjung, this would be it, when she's not at her best, and having that injury issue. Just a bit sluggish yesterday. Changing rackets. Yeah, I think she'll want to come out all guns blazing today, Tunjung, and clear message, if she can, of course. Remember, she's still got Tai Tzu-Ying to play, who she does have a good record against, but that's not the game you want this to hinge on. You want to win today, go into tomorrow's one, thinking you still have the opportunity, because Tunjung can still beat Kim Ga-eun. It could be a really open one here. We've got that game, Tai Tzu versus Kim Ga-eun here. 3-1. She's dictating proceedings at the moment, Tunjung, against this very gifted player, Tunjung, who really finally did justice to her talent this year, going deep in several tournaments by consistently beating top 10 opponents, becoming the first Indonesian women's singles winner of a Super 500 or above title since the launch of the Super Series. That was at the Kumamoto Masters, Japan. 3-all. Just in. did well to get to that, Unsu Young. And Tunjung in front. 3 in a row here for her. Yeah, apart from winning that Kumamoto Masters Japan, and as I mentioned, the Spain Masters, Tunjung, who qualified in 6th place here and was ranked ranked 8th. She's in the 2 finals. She was into the runner-up at the Malaysian Masters.
Let's welcome the players.
And 3rd at the Japan Open as a Super 750, and the Hong Kong Open, a Super 500, and the Swiss Open, which is a Super 300.
Malaysia.
Pretty decent year. Young, as I said, won 8 HSBC BWF World titles this year. That's well out. She was in 2 finals, the Malaysia Open, a Super 1000, the German Open, a Super 300. She got to the semi-finals of 2 other tournaments, the Indonesia Open and the Japan Masters. The rub of it is that basically when she gets to the semi-finals, she tends to go on all the way. That's why she's had such a dominant year. Oh, very nicely done. A cute angle there. Very difficult for Un to get back to. There's only one way that was going to finish. Tunjung.
7-5.
Very decent start here from Tunjung. Some glorious shots, I have to say. Beautifully done from the Indonesian. It was a little slow starting, but it's come out really nicely here. Well, this, I have to say, is looking a little concerning. It's early days, of course, for Un So-young in this one, but the lead is 4, and remember, she's not playing at her best. It's all going very nicely for Tunjung. 5-point lead already. This is a little surprising.
Service over. 6-10.
Brings in the crowd. Already, what is going on here? We are talking about a record-breaking spree. 8 World Tour titles from 10 finals before that injury. It's a bit more like it.
7-10.
She's played a lot of badminton, and this is part of that debate. You can choose what you want to do, but also for winning so much, it is hard, isn't it? It's hard to stop when you've got that winning feeling.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Liu Yuchen and Wu Xuanyi, China. And on my left, Zhu Yuanyi and Aaron, Malaysia.
She's backing back quite nicely here. This is a good run
8-10.
from An Se-young.
Play.
Service over, 11-8.
Getting a quest for a record 11th title this season at the moment, An Se-young, but she is trailing here. Not by too much now. It was a fair bit earlier. She's halved that. It's 11-8 to Tunjung.
거기에서 뭘 하냐면 발이 지금 하나 치고서 좀 힘이 있게 놀고 중간에 와서 상대 치는 중간에 좀 논다고 발만 바꿔도 힘이 좀 힘이 못 해야 돼. 딱 힘 주고 딱 치고 보고 나야 돼. 딱 잡고 이렇게 해야 돼. 근데 그게 없어 그냥 논다고. 어? 말했다? 그걸 좀 더 기분 잡으면 올라쓰기도 하고 재밌고.
20 seconds. 20 seconds. Eleven, 8. Pray. Service over. 9-11.
Yeah, it is, and of course, may not want to openly say it, but of course, to try and match Kento Momota's record haul of titles in a single calendar year. If she can get that, would be 11. That would be
10-11.
something very, very impressive. One of the World Championships and the Asian Games gold is quite the haul for her. And look, wouldn't you know it, already level. 3 in a row in double quick time right after the interval. Those shots, those really lovely little drop shots being played by Tunjung have actually been a great weapon. I just wonder whether that knee, where that little vulnerable point is on trying to get to those drop shots. How about that for a shot? A little bit of slice on that. So We're certainly enjoying that one. She goes into the lead now, and so young. Well, she's really surging, isn't she? 6 of the last 7 points have gone her way. We're beginning to see a little bit more of An Se-young now, the real An Se-young. That was a glorious shot from her. Push it to one corner and then play this. No chance for Tunjung, who's looking a little worse for wear at the moment. Bit more reaction there from Sung Ji-hyun now, her coach. Well, this is a tremendous run. It really is. From An Se-young. Well, she's won 9 of the last 10 points, An Se-young, and it's basically taken away this game from Tunjung. That's so impressive. She's just suddenly turned it on. I wonder what was said. It's all good. Finding her marks at the moment. Where was this earlier? You have to ask. An Se-young suddenly coming back in style here. She looked a little worse for wear in the first half of this game. Well, nothing is going right for Tunjung.
19-12.
This is huge turnaround, remarkable in how it's panning out. Now she's getting to those sort of shots which she wasn't able to earlier. Finally, she breaks that run.
Service over. 13-19.
It was 8 points in a row for An Se-young, who'd won 11 of the last 12.
14-9.
Well, these are useful for Tunjung, but it's got to be pretty special from here, you feel, for her. Placement
Service
was
over.
brilliant from An, and she's got
19,
6
game
game points.
14. Game.
So, An
First
Se-young
game, one
has
match. An Se-young,
really turned this
21.
first game on its head. Doesn't look too happy, Tunjung. Remember, she was trailing 8-11 at the interval. And Tunjung was looking really good, playing some brilliant shots. And she just won 13 of the last 16 points. An Se-young. To take that first game to round 14.
Cut to 20 seconds. Cut to 20 seconds.
Well, Tunjung, it looked like she just needed a moment.
Second
She's
game.
not too
Global.
happy at the moment.
Pray.
And, yeah, you can understand why. Thoroughly outplayed. Has
Service over.
a bit of a struggle with
One
players in the top 5.
love.
'Nine. Hit them 11 times this year now, and just won 3 of them.
Service over. 1-all.
Now, An Se-young presumably has all that momentum from the previous game. Just stretching her opponent at the moment. Doesn't seem to have too many answers. She's got a bit more swagger, a bit more of a smile on her face, looking much, much happier. It's in her interest to finish this as fast as possible to get that recovery underway before the next match against TotalEnergies tomorrow, which will be a great blockbuster. There's enough on that to take it over.
4-1.
When you look at the record this year, she's played 80 matches in 2023, An Se-young. She's won 74 of them. That's over 90% win rate. Absolutely remarkable. That's a lot of badminton played as well. And she has already started to run away with this one. Well, that's absolutely perfectly placed.
over. 2-6.
Oh, she needed to break that run of points, didn't she? Tunjung. It's 5 in a row. Once so young.
Three, 6. Like. Service over.
Yeah, she
7-3.
needs more than a couple of points in a row, doesn't she? Tunjung.
Eight, 3.
Well, it's hard enough
9-3.
playing the world #1, the most informed player at the moment on the planet. But what you've also got to do is cut down your own unforced errors. Yeah, no answer. She was caught out then, kind of no man's land.
10-3.
That's a bit better,
Service over.
but has this already
4,
gotten away
10.
from her? She is struggling.
Right.
Bit better here from Tunjung.
5-10. Six, 10.
Well, this is a little better from Tunjung. 3 in a row from her.
Service over.
So we go into the interval
11,
slightly
6,
better for
interval.
Tunjung, but she's still trailing by 5. Could have been a lot worse. She has a lot of work to do here, Tunjung, to stay in this match and, in the long term, this tournament. Now, post-interval was where she was ruthless in the last game. And so Young, actually, she just blew Tunjung apart, really. They're scoring 30 in the last 16 points.
No. 13-6.
She's now scored 26 of the last 35 points, if you want to look at the whole bigger picture, since the interval of the last game. It's massive. She is struggling here, Tunjung. And this is Ansa Young really starting to approach her best here. And the body language is not great for Tunjung, and I mean, you can understand at the moment she is not really got the answers here to a rampant Ansa Young. Well, that's better. That's more like it.
Service over. 7-14.
She needs a lot more of that. The last time they played at the India Open, so we are talking a long time ago, which was the round of 16. This is almost a year, in January of this year. 21-16, 21-18. They also played in the World Tour finals last year, this very same tournament. And actually, that was in Thailand, and it went to 3. It was a bizarre match, that one, because Ansa Young won the first one so convincingly, 21-11, and then Tunjung won the second, also extremely convincingly, 11-21. And then the third went again the other way, 21-10 Ansa. If I remember, I think it was pretty thrifty, that one. Nimibut Arena. It's a bit more like it.
Service over.
2 in a row for Tunjung.
15.
Lovely return there from An. That's fantastic. Where's that been for a while from Tunjung? 3 in a row from her. She's matched her earlier run of 3, and then So Young then put on 4. And it's a little bit like what we saw in the women's doubles. If you're that far behind, you need more than just 3 points or so. You need to put on a really good run. 5 or 6 minimum. pushing around a little bit more here, Tunjung. We've got to just test her now. Is she okay?
10-15.
Just for a second there. Looked like she might be in some trouble with her knee. How she landed, I think she's okay. A little bit of slice on that. That's more like it. Stretching her. Oh, on that knee as well. This is when she tumbled over and it didn't look too promising, did it? That's 4 in a row. She's still 5 behind, but this is better from Tunjung.
Pray.
Now let's see if Young can break this run.
$11.50.
Well, she can't right now. Well, this is her best run of points for some time now, Tunjung. All of a sudden,
12-15.
it is just turned the other way. This is getting quite interesting again now, because Young was completely dominating this. She's back in with a shot here, Tunjung. That's going to be out. Oh, wow.
13-15.
6 in a row. It was 14-6 earlier. An 8-point gap. 7 of the last 8 points have gone Tunjung's way. I was telling you about the kind of run that she needs to embark on. This is it. She's only 2 points away. It's striking distance. Much better from the Indonesian. By far her best spell of the match so far.
15.
This is the kind of run that Young had in the first game that took it away from Tunjung. Now Tunjung embarking on her own.
Gregoria Mariska Tunjung, champions, KOR out.
Tunjung challenging this. It is out. That run comes to an end.
And successful. 1 challenger remaining. Service over. 16-14. Pray. Service over. 15-16.
1 point in it. Well, this is a match that has ebbed and flowed. So many different times here.
Fresh.
Started with Tunjung, then a huge run from Anse Young, and then Tunjung back to her again. It's become a match again. It was looking very one-sided. Tunjung's looking good. This is quite the rally. Should be able to finish it off. She doesn't. That's a Young. It's hanging in there, but she wins the rally. Oh, some real quality about that. Anse Young looked in some trouble.
Service over.
Tunjung was stretching her.
17-50.
She's having a bit of a sit down. Not something you see too often. I think she'd be disappointed with that, Tunjung. Well, this took a bit of a turn, didn't it, this match?
Thank you.
This rally we've had.
Shuttle. Right.
Again, Tunjung looking to go on the offensive here. Brilliant shots from Anse Young.
18-50.
I've seen an outright winner from her in a while. Reminder that it's only a fourth point in the last 12. Anse Young. And now
19-50.
gap is up to 4, and she's just 2 points away. Anse Young finishing this.
Got 1, 20 seconds. Got 1, 20 seconds.
Service over. 16-19.
11-6. Play.
Now that has set up
Service over.
4 match points.
20. Match point 16.
for An Se-young. That's all gone. It's done. An Se-young has won this. It wasn't as smooth sailing as she thought it might be, especially in the last few minutes, where Tunjung actually can look back at this and say, well, I put up a very good fight towards the end of the second game. It came a little too late, perhaps. She had An Se-young a bit concerned, I'm sure, coming back from a huge deficit, winning 7 in a row to be only a point or two behind her opponent, but it was not quite enough. An Se-young continues her perfect record against Gregoria Mariska Tunjung. 6 wins now on the trot, never lost to her. An Se-young of Korea beats Gregoria Mariska Tunjung of Indonesia 21-14, 21-16. She's done it in 45 minutes. Up next, we return to women's doubles. It's Japan against Korea. Matsuya Mashida versus Kim Min-kong.